So I see everybody talking about how amazing Absolute Batman is, and I finally get around to reading it. Bro, we gotta talk about this. It's already good. Now we start with a bit of a flashback of young Bruce at the zoo looking at bats. But we immediately cut back to Gotham. It's obviously in the future where we get a much older Alfred and he's kind of talking to Gotham in his head, like it's an old friend that he hasn't seen in a while. I already love this dialogue and it sets a really nice tone. Especially when he actually takes the helmet off and he says, "My name is Alfred Pennyworth and I'm here to do some bad things." This is already a very badass version of Alfred, and Alfred is already a cool character. We see him set up in this very Punisher-esque bunker as he tries to figure out what's going on in Gotham. Here's where I found the most interesting thing. He appears to be some kind of secret agent or a mercenary, I can't really tell, but he's working for an agency going place to place, either taking out targets or doing surveillance, and he's been called back here to Gotham. Not only is he here looking for this new gang called the Party Animals, but he's also here to engage Batman. And I gotta say, this gang sounds insane. They burned a daycare and danced as 32 people burned alive. And they raised the murder rate in Gotham by 700% almost single-handedly. Now I just know this panel was meant to subvert expectations, and if we hadn't already seen a billion pictures of Absolute Batman, this probably would have caught a lot of us by surprise. Because this looks like Bruce. And it looks like he's hyping himself up to be Batman tonight. But then you see this hulking monster approach. And this is the Bruce Wayne of this universe. And as this guy's clearly doing some kind of practice and hyping himself up for maybe a fight, maybe he's a boxer or something, we see Bruce just annihilating the bag. You see the big boom, 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 as he destroys it and everybody turns around at this hulk of a man just tearing into this thing. This version of Bruce is huge. And as he's destroying the bag, we do start to see more of that flashback, and it looks like this is how Bruce's father actually dies. And the more he thinks about it, the angrier he gets, and he punches this shit until it explodes and all of the sand comes out. Not only is he massive, but he is ridiculously strong. Now, after promising to replace the bag, we see he and his friend Waylon start to talk, and he drops a few names like Eddie, Harvey, and Oz, and even Selina, so it looks like these are our versions of Two-Face and Catwoman, and even the Penguin, but since we haven't seen them yet, we don't know if they've actually become these versions of the characters, but I do like to see that at least in this universe, they seem to be friends with Bruce and Waylon. Now, as Waylon is trying to get Bruce to come out and live a little, Bruce is very brooding, just like his original counterpart, and he decides to leave before actually having a conversation with his friend. And he says something about how this is Gotham, this is our home, and we need to do something about the way things have been, because the city has gotten very violent. Like I told you guys, the Party Animals are making it a very deadly place to live. But as we already know, Bruce is doing something. He is the Batman. Now we move over to see the head of the Party Animals meeting with the Falcone and Maroni bosses. They're giving them the very cliche speech that basically your gang is a little too rowdy, a little too chaotic, and our gangs have been here for way too long for you guys to be ruining everything, killing anybody you see. So although you may be a big shot with this gang, you guys need to leave or we're gonna kill you. And this dude, I don't know what he is. His gang doesn't even seem human. Their masks seem very odd. The people around him are wearing like squid masks. It's a very odd gang. And of course, he responds the way you think he would. He gets them killed immediately and brutally after showing them a bunch of different masks of other dead people, including members of their own family. And as the Party Animals continue to annihilate Gotham, we see Bruce putting on the batsuit and getting to work. On top of that, as you can see from the news broadcast, in this universe, Jim Gordon is actually the mayor, not the commissioner. So we're about to get to some really juicy parts of the story. Now, as Mayor Gordon is talking to the citizens of Gotham, they are giving him the business because the Party Animals have been ripping everybody to shreds and they blame him. But we see someone stand up and actually try and defend Gordon because he spent a lot of his years as a cop for the city. Now as the mayor, he's doing his best to fight back against this gang, but they're just too crazy and they're willing to kill anybody, willing to harm anybody. And before this speech can come to an end and everybody can come to a conclusion that they have to work with Gordon, not against him, for this to be resolved, we see the Party Animals jump in and start shooting at people. They shoot at Gordon and it looks like he dodges it. And as he lays on the ground holding the hand of Barbara, I realize, I guess Barbara's a black woman here. Pretty cool. And it looks like before the Party Animals can do any more damage, we see them all get yanked out and the door they just bust open gets slammed shut. Now it's time for the Batman. Now Batman proceeds to tell the police officers to stay inside while he starts to take care of the Party Animals. And while the Party Animals gather themselves, they immediately let loose on the suit. So one thing we can see about this Batman is he is still very much bulletproof. Not only that, but we see he still has gadgets like smoke bombs, and even his cape is like a tendril where it can wrap around different enemies and throw them cross map. And while he's sitting here decimating the party animals, we see Alfred has been watching the entire time. Remember, he's been instructed only to observe unless he sees Batman. Then he was instructed to engage. So he's waiting for his moment. And while Alfred continues to wait for that moment, we see him studying Batman, breaking down his Muay Thai, his BJJ, his ability to strike, his knife work, his precision, and his brutality. He's able to admire the fact that despite him being so brutal and precise, there is not a single fatality. He realizes that Batman is an idealist. I just love this scene, the praise for this new version of Batman. It really focuses on the fact that although he may have some similarities to our original, he is very different. And there is no better example than this right here, where just for the fuck of it, he decides to take off his bat symbol, which is a makeshift axe, and lops off the hand of one of the party animals. Then he proceeds to tell everyone to get the fuck out of his way. This Batman is vulgar, he is brutal, and he is angry. And what's even crazier is as they start to leave, he then blows up the area, something Alfred actually appreciates. Now there is no way they all survived that explosion. Sure, the punches and the kicks and the broken bones and the severed hand maybe, but he blew them up. This is crazy. This Batman definitely kills. Now while Alfred finally begins to engage the Batman, he's immediately one-shot, made a fool out of, and Batman just leaves. Now later on, he does end up tailing Bruce Wayne to his day job where it looks like he is an engineer. But that's not all, he's also damn near genius level intellect. He was born very skilled and very strong, but he was not born with all this money. He had to get it out the mud, and when his father was killed in the zoo, he lost himself for a while. This Bruce is younger and has a chip on his shoulder. And as Alfred continues to rattle off a lot of exposition, basically letting us know that this Bruce is every bit as skilled, intelligent, and almost as resourceful as our original Bruce Wayne, we see that something that I think is the most important part of the story, Bruce still has his mom. I mean, is this the first Batman that's not completely orphaned? I'm just shocked that he has a parent at all. But we do see Alfred continuing to tell Bruce, pulling out a gun, saying this is one of Bruce's weaknesses. And as Alfred contemplates killing Bruce right there in front of his mother, he gets a message from his own daughter saying never contact me again. If you guys remember earlier in the story, he did try and reach out to his kid, and it looks like that did not work out for him. And he decides not to kill Bruce because to him, Bruce is just some stupid kid. But although Alfred may have had a soft spot that day, he does come back at night to sneak up on Bruce and try and take him out. But once again, he embarrasses the hell out of Alfred by shooting him right in the face with batarang buckshot. I like this version of Batman so much already. So this is the shotgun that he actually took from Alfred just a few pages ago, and I find it so cool that basically anything in this Batman's hands can be turned into whatever he needs it to be. He is an incredibly skilled engineer. And he throws the gun right back at Alfred, takes his bike, and jumps off this giant building, and Alfred has the same question we all do: where the hell is he gonna land? As the story ends on this badass note. Now we do have an epilogue that I haven't seen too many people talking about where it looks like we already got it revealed to the Joker. Now based on what we're seeing here, Absolute Joker doesn't laugh and looks like he finds nothing funny. I can already see once this Joker gets into his makeup or whatever they do with Absolute Joker, that version of Joker meeting the OG Joker. I would just love to see the OG Joker try and make him laugh and just get pummeled because I'm assuming everybody in this Absolute universe is a badass. But this story was great. I loved every part of it. I loved this version of Batman. And I like how they really did try to make him seem equal to the Batman we already have, but not in the same way. How this Batman seemed to be training on his own and learning his fighting styles and mixing it up his own way, while the OG went out to different parts of the world and learned from different teachers. And although the OG Batman is one of the smartest people on the planet, they do say that this Batman is still an incredibly intelligent person, damn near genius level. And his ingenuity makes it so that he is very dangerous no matter what he has. He can turn anything into a perfect weapon for himself. And he's very, very big. I don't know what made them go with that, but he's huge. So his strength is monstrous. I can't wait to see part 2 of this. This is an amazing Batman. And I definitely can't wait to see the other absolutes with Wonder Woman and Superman. But I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and I'm going to catch y'all on the next one.